Hey guys, on the woodshop today, talking all things 3D printing, and I have for you today a reveal of Printable Scenery's one of the models from their latest Kickstarter, and it is unbelievable. So stick around for that. First, I want to show you a couple things I've been working on that you may be interested in if you are a tabletop gamer, or if you are a board gamer, or if you just are a 3D printing enthusiast. And one of these is a chest that was featured some time ago off of Thingiverse. I'll link to this in the show notes, but this is a really cool treasure chest. I did scale it up. I don't think it came this size. Actually, this is one of the first things I printed off my 3D printer. So it was about a year and a half ago that I printed this, painted it up. I think I've gotten a little bit better at printing as well as post-processing and finishing. But I thought, a lot of, I've gotten requests for people to print chests before. So I thought, if if you're a gamer, you might be interested in something like this. Now, I printed this for my kids. I was going to bury it, have them go through a scavenger hunt, roll some, solve some riddles, roll some saving throws, those kinds of things, and then, dig it up, and they would have candy and little knick-knack toys buried in it. We haven't done that yet, but we will be doing it soon. And it was just a cool chest for that. The only problem I had with it is it doesn't latch back here, so I have to figure out a different one. There's another model that does provide a hinge, but I'm not completely sold on 3D printed hinges yet. It kind of depends on the hinge, but for this particular model, I'm just going to tie that together or something like that. But as of right now, let's open it up. It does contain some treasure, and it has D&D 5th edition coins from the D&D Player's Handbook. These are things that I modeled up, painted up with some metallic paint, and I thought they looked pretty good. You get your 5 coins. This is all based on the artwork from the Player's Handbook. I thought they printed out pretty well. They print vertically, so you can do a double side without having to glue something together. And I thought they came out great. And if you're interested in these, they are available on my Etsy store. I'm not currently selling painted sets, but if you want to paint a set yourself, it is available. Just follow the link in the show notes to my Etsy store. I've had lots of requests for these, so if you're interested, just let me know. We'll talk about these other couple models in just a second, but for right now, let's just get to why you came here in the first place, and that is the Orc Tower from Printable Scenery. This is not yet available. They sent it to me as a test print that I could print it out, see if I had any problems with it or whatever. But let me tell you what, this model is freaking amazing. I don't know that I've ever printed or seen anything like this. It is fantastic. It prints in 4 separate parts. I printed it in PLA. Let me zoom out here so you can kind of get the full scope of everything that's going on here. It's tall. It prints in 4 parts. I printed in 2 different kinds of PLA because I wanted to test the kind of some aspects of both of them. The bottom in this light gray is 3D Solutex gray PLA, which has been good for me. But I've been hearing tons of good things about the Eson PLA Pro, and so the rest of this is printed in Eson PLA Pro, and this stuff is fantastic. Not that I dislike 3D Solutex. I think it's great. I use it for a lot of things, but this Eson, I don't know, this is kind of tough to beat. Just the way it prints is just awesome. But look at the detail on this model. It is fantastic. Look at all the skulls and you've got the wooden beams and the ropes are everywhere. Look at that. Unbelievable. Now you can see where my printer struggles a little bit is on the tips of those right here, like something right here on those tusks or whatever. Now this model has had about, I don't know, maybe 5 or 10 minutes of cleanup on it. And that's what I love about Printable Scenery, man, because you can print everything that they've got without supports and everything prints fantastic. I've never had a problem with one of their prints. It's, always worked for me without supports. Look at that banner. That banner with the orc hand on it. Oh, there's a cool side over here too. Yeah, with the cow skull and everything. So anyway, sorry I got sidetracked. I printed this in 0.2 millimeter, actually 0.19 on the Zortrax, and you can see that the layers really well on this gradual slope of the top of this model. So you could either print this in finer detail if you had that available, or you could just print or use filler primer or XTC 3D. And to take care of those layers. But look at that. It's just an amazing model. Now, I've backed all of Printable Scenery's Kickstarters, and every single time, I'll leave one thinking, wow, that, what just happened is amazing. The models are amazing. The value is amazing. Then they'll come out with the next Kickstarter and I'll just be blown away all over again because the quality of the models is unbelievable. And this is just going to be fun to paint. It was fun to print. It's going to be fun to paint. It's going to be fun to play with. Let me give you some references. Here's a 3D printed, this is actually that same chest as I've got over here, shrunken down, that I used for the Gloomhaven board game. Just so you can kind of get some size reference. Here's a Conan, I believe these guys are 32 millimeter from the Conan board game. And I think this is a Warhammer skeleton. I can't recall where I got this guy. I think he's a Warhammer guy. And I think he's either 24 or 28 millimeter. And you kind of see how they compare in size relation to the tower. Oh man, that tower's cool. I just like looking at it. And it's just an unbelievable model, guys. And I'll look at the details of these guys. These skulls tied to the top of the tower. It is just cool. And it comes off in 4 different parts. This one has a floor. This one has a floor. You put things in there, play in there. Inside of this one's really cool. It's all cobbled and stones. It's just a flat out awesome model. And I'm really privileged that they allowed me to print this before everybody has access to it. So, when you guys, Printable Scenery, and there are a couple companies producing terrain like this out there, and they're doing such an amazing job. And we're really fortunate to have people like this producing files and such at such a reasonable cost. So, go support these guys. They do amazing work for, for what I consider to be more than reasonable pricing for what they do. Visit them at printablescenery.com. I'll link to them in the show notes. And I have printed a ton of stuff of printable sceneries, and I would like to do some more videos on that. This was from a previous Kickstarter. I can't remember if it was 1 or 2 Kickstarters ago, but some of you might already know what this is. If you don't know what it is, can you venture to guess what it is real quick? Dun, 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 dun. The reveal, it's actually a dice holder. The top comes right off. Here's my Conan dice. I put my Doom tokens in there. My skulls that I haven't taken off their printing yet. It holds all those in there. I've got tons of dice. I printed this at 140%, and I probably overdid it because, I was just looking at it and saying, oh yeah, the bigger the better. This is actually right off the print bed. This has no cleanup whatsoever. You can actually see some of the strings on it. I'll hit it with a lighter. Those will all go away. But this is another printable scenery model, guys, and it is fantastic. Look at all those bones and skulls and oh, it's just so cool. And then I'm a huge fan of dice towers. I don't use them all that much, but I love to print them for whatever reason. Another printable scenery model. Now this bed comes apart. I don't have it, put together, with the little clips that go in here to keep it there. But it's just an awesome model. I hope you guys can see that. The black PLA probably doesn't show up too well, but it's got an articulating gate up here. And just roll the dice, really get, come on, 20, 6 probably a miss. But the tower is surely a hit. Anyway, I have a ton of printable scenery stuff and other models that I have printed that I'd like to show you guys that you may be interested in. For now, go check out Printable Scenery online. They are definitely worth your time. They have fantastic models at a quality, at real reasonable rates. And keep me posted. If you post some printable scenery stuff, post it in the comments and show me what you've done, because I would love to take a look at it. Anyway, have a good day, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video.